So here's how it all started. At first, she wants to enjoy her semester break, and suddenly she remembers the quote from Rotterdam.
The due date ours is on 30th June. 30th June. 30th
Huh?
June.
She quickly pulls out her laptop to find the event, and after several attempts, by differentiating the dates, the location, and the event itself.
What a good event, and it's at KL. I'm gonna go right now.
So we hit the road at 2 p.m. since it takes 1 hour to arrive there.
We have arrived at the destination at 3:30, where it's just nice where the event speaking starts. There, we've been greeted by lovely Spanish hosts, and also at the wall, as you can see, they have pinned a lot of interesting facts about Spanish. Open to everyone, there was no registration required yet. Anyone who is interested in the event or happened to pass by might just join in without having to make a reservation or any payment. Conversation workshops, storytelling, Spanish reading, dance performance, and songs competitions were among the event's most intriguing events since they allowed us to see everyone reunion. For me, witnessing traditional Spanish dances was one of the highlights. Stage, and I couldn't take my eyes off this stage as the dancers danced with such passion and enthusiasm while wearing stunning costumes. In addition, there was storytelling which used expressive gestures and tones to interest the entire audience. The first thing that we did when we arrived at the event was answering trivia questions. It was such a good warm-up for us to feel comfortable at the event. It asked us to translate a certain word to Spanish, and we had to guess a certain delicacy in Spanish. It was such a fun experience. Although I had difficulty to translate a certain word, but this kind lady helped me and managed me to answer the question. After the quiz, we sat down to enjoy the live performance, such as dancing, storytelling, and others. And at the end of the event, they provide us key time. And the food that he served is from Spanish-speaking countries, such as Uruguay, Mexico, and others. My favorite was empanadas and flautas. It kind of reminds me of Malaysian delicacy. Based on my observation, collectivism was one aspect of HOFSTEDE cultural dimension that drew my interest the most. During the training, I saw a feeling of unity and group involvement, whether it was singing, dancing, or storytelling. People seemed to like group activities more than lonely ones. Even so, there were a few parts where 2 or 3 people performed alone. This is in line with your individualism in HOFSTEDE paradigms, which value relationship and society harmony. During the dance performance, it shows a very strong collectivism, and it somehow reminds me of my family, especially me and my sister. We would always perform a dance when we were younger to show our parents, and we will all cherish those moments and laugh together. Here's a quiz. Based on what I have ever explained, which of the following best reflect HOFSTEDE collectivism? A, B, C, or D? Yes, the answer is C. Spanish culture, according to HOFSTEDE research, prefers controlled environment with tradition and norms, which is what I saw in the prepared performance, synchronized dance, and the story framework. The event also provided key time for the attenders, but because most of them did not queue, it was quite crowded while they waited for their turn to get food. To prevent any confusion, everyone lined up correctly as soon as the coordinator spoke. The storytelling and Spanish reading portions of the program showed a strong connection to custom and cultural heritage. Stories often reflected mythology or traditional values, demonstrating a need to maintain cultural knowledge for future generations and a respect for the past. This is consistent with the high long-term perspective, which emphasizes planning for the future and maintaining cultural traditions. For TROMPENARS dimension, I spotted an obvious example of emotional. In emotional society, emotions are freely expressed, particularly during the dance and song competition. The event participants showed a tremendous lot of emotion. passion, and enthusiasm. There was a lot of cheering, clapping, and body language. They performed an open stage dance at the last moment of the event. Our pair began dancing to pop love music, displaying a great deal of emotions and a passionate ambience as they danced. In spite of the event's formal structure, guests engage in inclusive and casual social interaction. It indicates a diffuse culture that makes it easy to differentiate between official, business-related interaction and informal, personal ones. People talk to one another warmly and cheerfully despite playing a varied roles, like attendees, performers, and organizers, indicating a culture that values relationship with others no matter what. Overall, I had a pleasant and enjoyable time at the Spain's cultural event. But one particular incident made me think about more in-depth cross-cultural communication. My classmate, who also wears the hijab as a Spanish participant, if he would mind being photographed with us. And he replied with, "I don't think there is a need to take a picture." Since we understood that some individuals could feel uncomfortable, we didn't take it personally at the moment. We later found out that he was more than happy to take a photo with a person who is the same race with him, and she wasn't wearing a hijab. I question whether his answer was influenced by cultural presumptions or unconscious prejudice in light of the situation. Trumpeters claim that this has to do with particularism versus universalism element. In universalist society, people are expected to treat everyone with the same respect, regardless of who they are. But in particular society, a person's treatment often depends on their relationship, the situation, or their perspective. The response we observe will indicate a particular mentality, wherein a person's treatment was determined by their appearance or assumptions about their past. I found out that the event was being held at the Grey Box in KL. It felt like the perfect opportunity, not just to explore Spanish culture, but also to revisit a piece that brings back such a fun memories. Kuala Lumpur holds a very special place in my heart. When I was younger, I would often accompany my father when he had client meetings in the city. I did not always understand why he is working involved, but I loved simply being with him. We would ride commuter street together, take slow walks through the city. Those little routines became cherished memories. I still remember one specific moment. I was sitting in a meeting area while he was talking to a client, and a kind lady offered me something to drink. Without hesitation, I told her I would like a hot chocolate. As soon as I said it, I looked across the room at my dad, and we both chuckled. He knew I'd been craving something sweet for a while, and seeing me smile so widely made him laugh too. It was such a small moment, but it stayed with me. One of those quiet, shared memories between a daughter and her father that means everything. Even now, every time I plan the trip to KL, I will still make a point to tell him I'm going to KL. It instantly brings us back both to those early days. And that's all for me. Hope you enjoy and give a good mark. Bye bye.